Hey, everybody! How's everybody doing tonight? We're running thank you very much. It came in today. Just in time for simple signings on Saturday. Or me to leave out for simple signings on Friday. It does. And I've been like feeling myself most of the day, so it's like, I look cute. Smooth. Yes, very much so. Very much so. Um, I let Patrick pick it out. I was like, we needed a fedora for my suit anyway. But I didn't know if I was going to go with the same color as my suit because I did have one, or if I was going to go with just plain black. And Patrick's like, go black because black goes with everything. So, okay, take your time. You're good. Be careful. I'm just entertaining the masses while Izzy's adding nicotine to her oxygen system. But yeah, it's been a yes. We see the kitty. I don't know why her camera popped on. She's not in there. So, how's everybody doing? I did realize though with the hat, I can't have a high bun. I have to have a low bun, and still it catches the bun, but it keeps the hat in place. So at least I'm not worried about the hat falling off. Yeah, it's like, nope, I'm out. No, that looks like Star laying on the foot of the bed. So Star's like, I'm holding down the fort. Uh, Unfortunately, though, we got a really short show tonight. We only have 4 submitters. Um, but it is what it is, and we will do the best with what we've got. Um, Currently, I'm just getting the last part set up for the night. Uh, Wrong thing. Stop. Wrong thing. Which is my number generator and everything like that. Because while I did clean under the desk today, everything's kind of like thrown all over the room, and I have not gotten under the desk to get the dice back out. So, and the number generator seems to work a little bit better anyway. So we're good with it. Everything's fine. So, but yeah. You know what? I usually don't look good in a hat, but I look good in this one. Funny. So, everybody's gearing up. Let me let everybody know we're online. Copy link. Do 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 do.
All right, I'm back, and I highly do not recommend drinking Apple Jack with Dr. Pepper.
No, Applejack with Sprite.
It's all right with Coke.
It would,
Not
yeah.
okay. Not okay with Dr. Pepper. But
Not,
no, do
no.
not lay on my brand new Carhartt.
Oh, it came
See
in today?
here. Yes. Me so happy. Me so
Awesome.
happy.
Okay. I got it sent out in all the usual spots. Hopefully we'll generate some peoples.
Come on. Do what I want you to do. Bingo, bango, boom. Inbox.
yeah. Bet sure that kind of goes that way.
It's too dark in here. I've had a day of sunshine. Beautiful weather.
We were at 74 today.
Fuck you. Love you, but fuck you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with a real feel, I think of like 80. So it was really weird because I've had sunshine all day, everything's good, and then I go to walk outside to get the DoorDash, and it's still really pretty outside, but it's dark. Like it's that in between there. I'm like, this doesn't work for me.
Yep.
Bring the
Now,
sun back.
Good news is that I did wake up in enough time this morning to do the return of I had bought a tension rod that had arms that come out to hold hangers. And it came from overseas, so it got beat up on the way to the point where there was missing parts and broken parts. Apparently, I didn't realize, but I only had 14 days to return it. Star Psycho Kraus. Ma'am, do you forget that I'm on camera and I can see you on my screen?
Apparently. She's just gonna go lay down in the middle of the bed like, I didn't do nothing. You're seeing stuff. I didn't do nothing.
Literally scratching at my curtain back there, like, bitch. So, but I did finally wake up in enough time because my local post office is open from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Well, I work 9:30 to 6, and trying to get to the post office when they open, when I should be on my way to the office, not working. So I did manage to get there this morning and had a nice conversation with the two postal ladies. And I brought this mangled up box and I said, look, I don't have a box to put this in, but It came from overseas. It looked like this probably before you guys even got it to deliver it to my house. So, like, I'm just hoping it all stays and I can get my refund. Yeah, calisthenics. She wants calisthenics. I have one of those cat wheels. She could run on it. She could totally run on it and lose that gut of hers. But she's used to running around outside and chasing bunny rabbits and birds, and I won't let her do that. So she's not happy with me.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hello, my gorgeous little squirrel. Anyway. Shut up.
I didn't say a word.
You thought it.
I think a lot of things.
Yes. The deprivation is major. So, yes, we have got, as Julie said earlier, I could hear, we've got 4 tonight, and that's perfectly fine. I am still feeling under the weather, not physically ill, but mental well-being. So, um, as that stands, the original plan was for, uh, Julie to come and get me from the Indianapolis area and go to meet Patrick in Roanoke for Sinful Signings. I am now not attending. Um, I'm still going to take the time off from work, but I think my mental health is a little bit uh, more pertinent to take care of than quality time with my besties. Because if I lose my ever loving shit in Roanoke, Virginia, and yeah, I don't want to put that on Julie and Patrick. So we're just gonna heal and figure out where I need to go from here.
Right. You're going
So
to be our emotional support from from the miles
far
away.
away, miles away. And we still are, as of right now, planning for a show next week. We're just not quite sure what that's going to look like. And are we going to have a full show? Don't know. But more news should be coming. Take a look at the Discord for that. Um, Probably won't be a decision made in enough time for the newsletter this week. Emotional band-aids. I appreciate that, Bitzer. Um, I mean, it's to the point where it's caused full-on writer's block, and so it's fine. It's fine. The world's on fire, but it was on fire yesterday, and it'll be on fire tomorrow too. So, me and my emotional support, stray kids stuffies, uh, will just be hanging out here, and I am missing half of the collection. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. So, um, yeah, we've got 4. We do not have an announcement for what March will be, nor do I have an announcement of what my birthday challenge will be. I don't know that I am up to doing one. So to come up with it and announce it. But y'all's love and support and understanding of where I am at any given point in time is so so appreciated. Okay. Once again, AI is not to be used to learn from our voices, learn from our stories. We are still working on trying to figure out how to put names back underneath Uh, there was actually one of the things that was draining and causing issues with the stream because of all of the different layers that each of the names took. So still need to work on changing what that looks like, um, and not have it be too fiddly.
Right. Because we know how that goes.
Yeah, when it starts to get fiddly and there's too many buttons to push and whatnot. Um, Aw, somebody's not happy tonight.
Um, Daddy told him he couldn't feed his ear. He was trying to put a cheeseburger in his ear.
That's not the mouth, honey.
And you would figure after a 10-piece chicken nugget and 2 other double cheeseburgers, he would already know that. But he tried, and then Daddy told him no, and this is what we got. So he is perfectly fine. He is just throwing a hissy fit.
Yep. Yep. Not a happy camper.
Not a
All
happy
right.
camper.
So we've covered that the newsletter will come out, probably not have full on information about what March will be, let alone this next week. So keep an eye out for the Discord. By the way, if you are not a part of the Discord, why the fuck not? Because trust me, we just hang out and are completely unfiltered, unhinged. And if you think we're unhinged here, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Kind of like me calling for the fashion police as soon as my hat arrived. Uh,
She did. She did. And I'm like, oh, I wasn't going to get on Discord today because, feelings. But I guess I got to show up. I was happy to do so. As the person who has been wearing fedoras since 1998, I approve. Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Mr. Brother there. Okay, so with 4, we've touched on AI, we've touched on the stream, we've touched on the names that used to be across the bottom, the strain it added to the stream. So I guess
The only thing left to say is, hey, if you're going to be in the Roanoke, Virginia area next weekend, guess what? So will me and Patrick. Patrick is a signing author at Sinful Signings. I'm going as his PA and backup for the weekend. Come join us, hang out. He's going to be at table 91 on the program. When you walk through the door, you'll get a little map. You'll figure out where we're at. As such, come over, see us, take a picture, come say hi. Believe me, we love interacting. Also,
like
Patrick will also have a few of my books for blind date with a book. So if you want one, let us know, and we'll make sure you get it. Otherwise, that's about it. Guess we're just gonna go ahead and spin and see who comes up first.
Yep. Yeah, and for the record, I mean, most of us are extroverts or can play act at extrovert. So we don't bite unless you ask us to, and even then, we consider the legal ramifications of biting.
Well,
Um,
the thing is we have to have full written consent before we do that.
yes. So definitely stop by and make sure that you get a picture with them. This every Saturday night. We've heard from so many people that this is their interaction for the week. This is their um, and yeah, we live for Saturday night. Like, I go to work Monday morning and I'm literally like, "Is it Saturday yet?" You know? Even if it doesn't feel like I'm really excited the last couple of weeks or so, I am, because you guys are my social interaction, outside my kids and work. So, um, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss it and miss all of the people that are able to show up. Yep.
Look at these. We're just getting through the announcements.
All right, and we've done the spinny. Who is up first?
William. And I'm
Wilhelm.
gonna, it's gonna have it's gonna be the story. It's gonna be that story.
Wilhelm. Wilhelm F. Ruffy. All right. Here we go. My emotional support stuffies. Save me. A strong acid scent wafted through the air as Robert entered the shadow of the winery. Their guide, Ignacio, leading them around the stucco facade to the wide basement staircase leading down to the aging cellars. The trio descended to an old door, Ignacio giving it 3 knocks before he stood back, wiping his brow. Will this take long? Robert asked. Patience is a virtue, Ignacio said, glancing at Sarah. The old man seemed odd when we spoke your name to him. He and I have an odd relationship, Sarah said matter-of-factly. Ignacio nodded, leaning against the wall and daubing under his shirt with a cloth. A bird cawed in the distance, Robert feeling a shiver of fear as he looked back up the steps. For one brief moment, he was back in the Argonne, the trench top looming overhead as he waited for the whistle to scream. He cried out when it did, whirling around as he leveled his rifle. Only Robert had no rifle. Instead, he cradled his hands as though he did. A balding man with a bushy gray beard halfway down his chest stared back from behind the half-opened door, squinting at him with confusion in his eyes. Jeremiah, Sarah said quickly, pushing Robert's hands down. She stepped between them. It's so good to see you again. You stole $250 from me when we last parted, Jeremiah snorted. I apologized and returned the money, didn't I? 2 years later, via wire transfer and telegram. It was not a good thing you did, young lady. Can we let that be water under the bridge? Sarah said, her voice strained. My brother had been kidnapped by the Children of Providence and may be held in the Shanate Asylum. Do you expect an old man to help you break him out? I need you to look at a coin. She glanced at Ignacio. One for your eyes only. Jeremiah waved Ignacio away and pushed the door open wide, Robert catching it and holding it for them. With that, they entered the basement, a wave of cool air washing over them as row after row of aged barrels formed aisles throughout the undercroft. Jeremiah strolled down the aisle until they came to a table at the back. Here, beneath the glare of an electric light, were a few wine glasses, a cask he had opened, a box of crackers, a spitting bucket, and a chemistry set partly extracted from an old leather bag. Amongst the chemistry equipment was a pair of magnifying glasses, which he snatched up. Sarah handed him the medallion, Jeremiah looking over it carefully. Robert's hand twitched as he watched the old man turn it over and over in his hand, desperate to be done. Instead, Jeremiah glanced at Sarah and asked, Do I have your permission to cut this open? If it will help get to the bottom of this, she replied. And hurry up, Robert added. Have you never heard of patience? Jeremiah snorted, reaching into his bag. Yeah, from Ignacio a few minutes ago. I'm willing to do stakeouts, but when I'm under the gun, I've no time for waiting around. If my grandson's account of France is accurate, waiting is the primary thing one does whilst under the gun. He and I remember the war differently then, Robert grunted. Be that as it may, the door clattered open, a shout echoing through the darkness. Robert drew his pistol and slammed himself into cover behind a wine cask, waving for Sarah to join him. The sound of distant gunshots echoing from the grounds above sent him back 15 years to the trenches, his palms sweating as he gripped his pistol, whispering, 6 in the chamber, 12 in my pocket. Is that enough? Jeremiah's voice rang over his. Ignacio, what is happening out there? Some crazy men are attacking the winery, Ignacio skidded around the end of the cask row, shouting as he leveled his lever rifle at Robert. Drop the pistol, cabron. Not on your life, Robert hissed. Boys, please, Sarah shouted. Ignacio, this man is not your foe, Jeremiah groaned. As though to emphasize his point, there was a bang at the door and then a rat-tat as someone opened up with a Tommy gun. Ignacio swore, diving into cover behind the cask row opposite Robert as bullets tore down the aisle between them. Robert leaned out when the fusillade quieted. There, silhouetted by the bright sun in the doorway, was a man in a medical smock holding a machine gun. His eyes were wide and bloodshot, exuding that same crazed vehemence as those cocaine smugglers Robert had busted at the Oakland piers. He took a pot shot, his bullet flying wide, before sliding back into cover as the bullet stream resumed. What is happening? Jeremiah shouted from behind the table. I told you, we're being attacked by crazies, Ignacio shouted. 5 of these maniacs marched up the drive armed to the teeth and started shooting. They must be here for the coin, Sarah said from behind the table. We can't assume anything, Robert shot back before leaning out and taking another 2 shots at the machine gunner marching down the aisle towards them. Both missed, leaving 3 in the cylinder. Another burst of gunfire slammed into the cask Robert hid behind, this time throwing up wood splinters and a splash of wine. Jeremiah wailed as the liquid gold began to gurgle onto the floor like black blood. Ignacio, though, leaned out from cover and took 1 rifle shot. A muted cry and a clattering thump echoed through the basement. Robert jumped out of cover and ran to the still figure of the assailant, laying in a pool of blood and wine. His eyes were glassy and staring, a quick check revealing that he wore a strange pendant on his wrist with a spiderweb design and had white dust on his upper lip. Robert appropriated the pendant along with the Tommy gun and the spare magazine shoved into the man's pants. He glanced back as Ignacio skidded up to his side, the man cringing as he asked, What devil got into this man? Drugs and some sort of magic, I'd wager, Robert replied, holding up the spiderweb pendant. Ignacio muttered, Maria, under his breath as he made the sign of the cross. No sooner had he done that than another gunshot echoed from outside. Robert hurriedly popped out the spent casings from his pistol and replaced them before holstering it and taking up the Tommy gun instead. Then he advanced to the door with Ignacio, both men taking up positions on either side, Robert pressing himself against the open door. A cautious Sarah and Jeremiah crept after them, the latter muttering about the waste of wine before each took cover with their respective gunmen. Robert waved to Jeremiah and tossed him the spiderweb pendant, hissing, What do you make of that? Some sort of mind-breaking charm, he muttered, dropping it to the floor. Outside, the air grew quiet and still. An ominous silence spread through the basement. Robert tossed a spent shell casing out the door, a rifle retort shattering the stillness, followed by a muttered curse from Ignacio and someone outside. The hair stood up on the back of his neck when he stole a glance outside. Simon Lowry in his white hat looked down at them from the side of the sunken staircase, like a man holding the top of a cliff flanked by a pair of gunmen. Both of them opened fire, sending Robert back into cover as shards of metal flew from the door jamb. Robert Astor, Simon's voice called. I should have known it was you who was rooting around in my truck. And I should have known it was you. Drug up your own patients and send them after me. My God, what a sick thing to do. This whole world is sick, and only radical action can wash away the stains. Now, you have something that belongs to me, don't you? Nothing as significant as someone's brother, Robert called back. You have him in that asylum of yours? I don't think you're in a position to be asking the questions. Knock that off. We both know this is a stalemate, otherwise you'd have me in cuffs. You don't know jack shit, Robert, Simon scoffed. You stuck your hand in a hornet's nest, and now you're scrambling to draw back more than a stump. Now hand over the goods before I set fire to this winery and get what I want anyway. Or do you want to die screaming? Robert glanced at Ignacio and Jeremiah, hissing, Is there another way out of this basement? Through the house, but I don't have a key, Jeremiah replied. Who cares about keys now? Ignacia hissed. Tick tock, Simon called down. Robert steadied himself, picturing in his mind where Simon and his two victims were standing. With a quick motion, he stuck the Tommy gun out the door and squeezed the trigger, sending 5 bullets their way. A curse and a scream cut through the air, followed by shots back their way from above. Seizing his chance, he jumped off the door and slammed it shut, Ignacio slamming the lock into place. What are you doing? Jeremiah demanded. Leaving, Robert retorted. We go up the door into the manor and flee through one of the windows. Simon can't have enough men to cover them all. But he said he was going to set fire to the winery, Jeremiah cried. If we flee from here, now we lose years' worth of vintages and everything else that goes with them. Is wine worth more than your life? Sarah asked. Wine is my life! Jeremiah held out his hand. No, give me your pistol. I'll aid and fight. Have you ever even fired a gun before? Robert snapped. I'll have you know I fought with Roosevelt in Cuba. We're wasting time, Sarah said, seizing Robert's shoulder. Now let's get moving. Muttering under his breath, Robert let Sarah lead him back through the wine cellar. Splashing in puddles of priceless vintages. He also walked right over the dead body he'd made. His ears rang, the crackle of machine gun fire, stench of the trenches, and flash of artillery shells exploding, flashing through his mind. His chest tightened, his heart quickened as he raced through the valley of death to the basement door. Here, he shot through the lock and kicked it open, stealing a glance back at Ignacio and Jeremiah waddling after them. He also smelled a whiff of smoke, though whether that was Simon making good on his threat of fire or a memory of 1918 was unclear. With nothing else for it, he ran up the stairs with a Tommy gun to face whatever horrors lay above, below, and all around. Dun dun dun.
Because of course we're fucking left there. No, I think our writer here is literally lying in wait on the spiders.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
No apologies. No apologies necessary. It's building up lots of beautiful tension. And as a rough draft goes, when you go back through and work on the grammatical structure, it'll read beautifully. There were a couple of times where I hitched up, where the cadence of the sentence just hitched, but the story itself, it's like I'm getting more questions than answers, my guy. Like, we got the cultists, we got the crooked sheriffs. Now we've got a asylum doctor, a medallion, some kind of magical mystical drug. I can't wait to get this in its entirety from front to back and watch it all unfold.
Yeah, these little like tastes of the story are just making it's making me want to like see the whole story.
Yes.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And we're all sitting over here going, okay, that's where he left it. We know we're gonna get a little bit more in between there, and then all of a sudden it's like bam.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely. Yep.
all right.
Ads in 1 minute. Don't forget to subscribe in order to avoid the ads. If you can't, that's fine. We completely understand. We all broke bitches.
We all use our Prime subscription, okay? 9 times out of 10, that's what we use.
And that one additional feedback. I mean, trust me, I'm still working on Bitzers and Julie's, running through them, and having the bandwidth. I get around to reading things eventually.
Right. Okay. Well, we do have the ad starting in 11 seconds or so. I am going to go ahead and roll and see who is going to be next up on the Spinny Wheel Challenge. Ooh, Nathan. What?
Who?
I said Nathan.
Did not hear.
Oh,
All I heard was the spinny and the clap.
Okay. Yes, Nathan Sturk is up next.
Glorious. Oh God. The championship game. The phone rang just as Isaiah Coleman was about to close the locker room door, and he should have ignored it. He knew that, in the same instinctive way he knew a blitz was coming before the linebacker twitched. Some calls carried a shape, a weight. This one pressed against the air like a storm leaning on glass. Behind him, the room hummed with fluorescent lights and the low buzz of the replay looping on the mounted TV. The throw. Always the throw. The screen froze on Isaiah's arm, fully extended, the ball slipping from his fingers like a bad secret. Someone had muted the sound, but Isaiah still heard the crowd in his bones. 40,000 people gasping together, a living thing collapsing in disbelief. He reached for the light switch. The phone rang again. He hesitated, hand hovering over the plastic. Outside the open doorway, the hallway stretched empty and echoing. The stadium had gone quiet in that unnatural way it does after a loss. Vendors packing up, kids whispering, janitors dragging trash bags like they were hauling bodies. He let it ring. Third time. He picked up. He didn't say hello. He didn't have to. A voice on the other end breathed once, shaky, then steadied. If you leave now, you lose everything. The line went dead. Isaiah stared at the receiver until the dial tone buzzed through his teeth. He hung up slowly. On the TV, his face filled the screen. Helmet off, eyes wide, mouth slightly open. Shock, guilt, whatever the commentators wanted to call it. He picked up his duffel. His cleats dangled from their laces, knocking softly against the bag as he stepped into the hall. The tunnel smelled like wet concrete and popcorn grease. His footsteps echoed louder than they should have. The lights flickered in patches, leaving dark gaps that swallowed him between pools of brightness. At the far end, the field opened wide and empty. The scoreboard still glowed, stubborn and cruel. Home, 24. Visitor, 21. Clock frozen at 00. Isaiah stopped at the edge of the turf. The grass was torn up near the 30-yard line, white chalk smeared like chalk outlines. Paper cups rolled in slow circles in the breeze. He could almost see it again. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, down by 4. Whole season hanging by a thread. Coach's voice in his headset, tight and sharp. Trips right, slant option, take what they give you. He'd nodded. He'd stepped into the pocket. He'd looked right at Malik breaking open. And then he closed his eyes. He didn't see Malik. He saw the stands. Section 112, row 3. A man in a gray coat standing when everyone else was sitting. A hand raised. 2 fingers. A small, deliberate motion. Isaiah's throat tightened. He opened his eyes. The stands were empty now. Just rows of plastic seats staring back at him like teeth. He turned away. Outside, the parking lot shimmered with the last of the crowd's taillights drifting away. Isaiah's truck waited alone under a flickering lamp. His sister's old scarf hung from the rearview mirror, faded purple, smelling faintly of lavender detergent. He tossed the duffel in the back. When he opened the driver's door, a voice behind him said, "Coleman." He froze. Coach Ramirez stood near the curb, hands jammed in his jacket pockets. His face looked older than it had this morning. Gray threaded through his beard like frost. "You heading out?" Coach asked. Isaiah shrugged. Coach glanced toward the stadium. "Media wants a statement tomorrow." Isaiah didn't answer. Coach rubbed his eyes. "You know, they'll eat you alive." Isaiah stared at the steering wheel. "I know." Silence stretched between them. Coach took a breath. "You had Malik wide open." Isaiah nodded. Coach waited, like he always did, patient and steady. Isaiah gripped the wheel tighter. "I saw something," he said. Coach leaned closer. "What?" Isaiah shook his head. "Nothing." Coach's mouth tightened. He stepped back. "If you leave now," Isaiah's head snapped up. Coach blinked. "You lose your scholarship. Your shot at the league, your team, everything you've worked for." Isaiah stared at him. Then he looked away. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Everything." He drove without turning on the radio. The road out of town cut past dark fields and shuttered gas stations. Headlights carved a tunnel through the night. His phone buzzed in the cup holder. Unknown number. He ignored it. It buzzed again. He ignored it again. Third time. He picked it up. A whisper. "Turn around." The line clicked off. Isaiah's hands tightened on the wheel. He drove another mile. Then another. The road curved toward the interstate. He slowed. In the rear view mirror, the stadium lights still glowed faint on the horizon, a small crown of white against the black sky. He turned the truck around. Section 112 creaked under his weight. The stadium was locked, but the maintenance gate by the loading dock had always stuck if you leaned on it hard enough. Isaiah had done it 100 times after late practices. Now the whole place felt hollow. Wind rattled the metal bleachers. A loose banner flapped like a tired flag. Row 3. Seat 14. Isaiah stood there, breathing hard. Nothing. Just a peanut wrapper. A crushed foam finger. A program damp with spilled soda. He crouched. Something glittered under the seat. A phone. Cheap, burner, screen cracked. He picked it up. It lit up immediately, like it had been waiting. One message. A photo. Isaiah stared. His sister Lily sat in the front row, hands tied behind her back, tape over her mouth. Her eyes were red and wide. Behind her, a man's shadow stretched across concrete. The message beneath the photo read, "You know the rule. No touchdowns tonight." Isaiah's stomach twisted. A noise behind him made him turn. Footsteps on metal. Slow, measured. The man in the gray coat stepped into the aisle light. He smiled like they were old friends. "You threw it beautifully," he said. "Right where I asked." Isaiah lunged. The man stepped back easily, calm as a chess player. "Easy," he said. "You want her to keep breathing." Isaiah froze. The man tilted his head. "You thought we were bluffing." Isaiah's voice came out hoarse. "Where is she?" The man gestured toward the dark concourse. "Safe, for now." Isaiah's fist trembled. "You said if I did it." "We said if you lost," the man corrected gently. "We never said how." Isaiah swallowed bile. The man watched him like he was interesting. "Your pass," he said softly, "was art. All season, you were perfect. Tonight, you just weren't." Isaiah's jaw clenched. "You hurt a lot of people tonight," the man went on. "Boosters, gamblers, men who don't like losing money." Isaiah lunged again. This time, the man didn't step back. Something hard pressed into Isaiah's ribs. Cold. Isaiah froze. The man's smile didn't reach his eyes. "You don't get to be a hero," he said. "You get to be alive." Isaiah's breath came shallow. He thought of Lily's laugh, of her texting him before every game. "Throw bombs, dummy." He thought of her empty apartment when he'd gone to pick her up this morning. Door open. TV still on, phone on the counter. He thought of Section 112, of 2 fingers raised. Isaiah lowered his hands. The man nodded approvingly. "Good," he said. "Now we're done. You go. You disappear. You take the blame. You live." Isaiah's voice cracked. "And her?" The man shrugged. "Depends how quiet you stay." He stepped back into shadow. Isaiah stood there, shaking. Then he turned, and he ran. The locker room TV was still on when he came back. The replay looped again. The throw. Isaiah sat on the bench, breathing hard. He stared at the screen. The pass looked awful, wild, stupid, unforgivable. Malik's face appeared in slow motion, confusion turning to horror as the ball over his hands and into the defender's arms. The stadium exploded. Isaiah muted the screen. He looked at his phone. Unknown number. He typed. "I did what you wanted. Let her go." No reply. He waited. Minutes crawled. Finally, the phone buzzed. A video. Isaiah opened it. Lily sat in a chair, untied, crying, alive. A hand waved in front of the camera. 2 fingers. The video cut. Isaiah exhaled a sound that wasn't quite a sob. He sat there for a long time. Then he stood. He walked to the whiteboard. He picked up a marker. And under tomorrow's practice plan, he wrote one word. Truth. Morning came with reporters, cameras, microphones, questions thrown like rocks. "Why did you throw the game?" Were you paid? Do you regret it? Isaiah stood at the podium. He looked out at the faces. Coach in the back, arms crossed. Teammates stiff and silent. Fans in jerseys, angry and betrayed. He thought of Lily eating cereal at their kitchen table, eyes still red. He thought of Section 112. He thought of 2 fingers raised. He thought of everything he'd lose. He leaned into the mic. I saw something, he said. The room quieted. He swallowed. In the stands, he went on. A man holding up 2 fingers. Murmurs rippled. Isaiah kept talking. He told them about the photo, about Lily missing, about the message, about the man in gray. He didn't say the words, I was afraid. He didn't say, I threw the game on purpose. He just showed them the cracked burner phone. He played the video. Silence fell like snow. Someone in the back started crying. Coach's hands dropped to his sides. Isaiah stepped away from the podium. Flashes exploded. Questions screamed. Security rushed forward. Somewhere in the chaos, Isaiah felt something loosen inside him. The story everyone knew cracked open. And for the first time since the ball left his hand, Isaiah could breathe. That night, the replay still ran on TV. But now they showed another angle. Zoomed in on Section 112, Row 3, Seat 14. A man in a gray coat raising 2 fingers. And next to him, barely visible, a girl with a purple scarf tied around her wrists. The commentators didn't talk for a long time. They didn't need to. The crowd noise rose again, not disbelief this time, but something heavier, something like grief. Isaiah watched from his living room, Lily asleep on the couch beside him, blanket pulled up to her chin. He reached for the remote. He turned the TV off. In the quiet, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He stared at it, then he answered. A voice said, You cost us a lot of money. Isaiah looked at Lily. He stood. He walked to the door. He opened it. Police lights washed the street red and blue. Isaiah stepped outside. If I leave now, he said into the phone, steady and calm, I lose everything. He looked at the officers waiting, at the neighbors peeking through curtains, at the night air sharp in his lungs. But I think, he said, I already did. He hung up, and for the first time, he didn't run.
Damn. That was intense. That was very much intense. Yeah, I know. It's been a minute since we had a mic mute. This one's going to take a minute, so everybody, grab your popcorn.
Oh, she's got to take a drink there.
Yeah, Izzy's having it.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, hydrate, people. Oh, she brought something out. Don't hit the mic. Oh, you fanned it. Okay. I'm like, that damn thing comes loose at the slightest little touch. She's like, don't hit it. Now we're all getting assaulted.
I mean, maybe we deserve it. I don't know.
Fair.
So On my way driving home from work after chasing my last customer out, I came up with an idea for a possible thing we could do next month for Izzy's birthday. And it's a good thing. I think everyone will like it. But I'll wait.
Well, good, because I don't have anything for my birthday.
Yeah.
We don't even have a theme.
Yeah, I know. I think I've got something good though. I'll wait till the end though.
Okay, let's see who's up next.
That boy's gonna
C.M.
get beat.
Weller.
That boy's gonna get beat. He's gonna get beat. I have more questions than answers. I just I need more Applejack.
Almost sound like you said Apple Jacks, but
Swear to God, I'm gonna beat some motherfuckers.
well, you do know I've got to drive like right past him on Friday. If you want, I can stop and hit him with a rubber mallet.
I think a shovel might need to be involved.
Yeah, but if I bring a shovel, that looks like premeditation. A rubber mallet, I always keep that in the toolbox.
I didn't say anything about you.
Right. Yep, you do. But
I no longer have an alibi. Anyway, C.M. Weller. Winter was threatening Cairncliffe, and Mr. Trant had to commission a special cart to take all the fines to Ambony. Those fines included Void, and Mr. Trant elected to keep his promise by taking Zinnia with him. Zinnia supervised the smaller things, packing crates with sawdust and wood shavings, with each more fragile find wrapped carefully in clean rag before being buried in more shavings and sawdust. Zinnia separated the layers with woven grasses and lined the top with the woven reeds she'd used to improvise a rain cloak. Void was the one to load up the heavy things, and more reed mats protected the carvings as the stones lay atop each other in the laden cart, all evenly balanced so that the whole thing wouldn't tip on any slope, including Mr. Trant's luggage, which was a massive trunk, a suitcase, and a valise. Each of those were creaking with paperwork and more little finds. There was just enough room for a small crate lined with soft things for Yarrow to sleep in. "You're really going all the way to the big city?" said Petunia. "It's a whole nother world, Zinny." "I know. Ain't much cacao for farm know-how up there, but Mr. Trant made me a promise, and this is how he's keeping it." "If you leave, you'll lose everything," worried Petunia. "I ain't got much to lose anymore," she said. "Look around. I only got one friend to tell me to stay." Mr. Trant finished making certain the horse from Zinnia's burned home was properly harnessed. His care and hers alike had seen the tired creature into much better health. The gelding still had a swayback and a phlegmatic temperament, but that was just fine. Mr. Trant didn't want to get there fast. He wanted to get there with everything and everyone on and in the cart, safe. "Where's Void?" said Mr. Trant. Zinnia had been absorbed in making sure they had everything and making sure Yarrow was comfortable. She scrambled up to the top of one of the more robust crates so she could look around for her strange metal friend. Even though it was big enough and strong enough to discourage trouble before it could start, Zinnia worried about it. There it was, making its way back to Cairncliff. Void was holding its hands oddly and had a bundle of reeds tied to its back. She could see it slowing as it grew near to the people going about their business. A handful of gossips made warding gestures against it as it made its way to the cart. Zinnia tutted inside. Void hadn't done a single thing to harm a living soul. It even walked around sleeping cats and napping dogs. It stopped to let hens with chicks cross its path. Void's on its way, she reported and clambered down. By the time her clogs hit the cobbles, Void had made it to their company. And what were you up to out there? Spy something in the mud? I have found your treasures, said Void. It opened its hands, revealing 4 clay sets of tiny footprints and her collection of pretty stones, blackened by soot and cracked from the heat, but all there. The basket did not survive, so I gathered reeds for you. Thank you, Void. She gathered up the footprints and held them to her heart before tucking them carefully into a corner of her apron, where she knotted them into a little bundle. That was right sweet of you. The stones got tucked into Yarrow's cradle under her feet. Once that was set up, she got the reeds off Void and started weaving, a pattern handed down for generations called Treasury Guard. It was meant to protect valuable things, or so the stories went. She almost didn't notice that the cart started moving. Zinnia startled and turned to wave to her one remaining friend. You mind yourself now, she called. You mind yourself, Petunia called back. And don't let the city shrink you none. Mr. Trance sat on the same bench seat Zinnia occupied, carefully keeping his distance and not being imposing. No tears for leaving your home, Mrs. Balvin? I think I cried all my tears with you, she said. Petunia's about the only good thing left in Cairncliff. Zinnia set her hands and her mind on her weaving, one ear open for conversation or Yarrow waking. She wouldn't look back again. Dun, dun, dun.
Really short tonight. I think it's been a week for everyone, I'm starting to think. And that was yeah, I mean, that was an emotional one, so I don't blame you, Bitzer. Because that was, whew, you got a mic mute. Yeah, I think you made her cry. Whew.
Yeah, that was heavy. That was very heavy. So, everybody just take a breath. Yeah, we only had 4 this week. I tried to come up with something. I've been reading most of the week, which I know is weird to hear come out of my mouth, but I literally have been reading 95% of this week. I mean, I work on my story and everything like that, and I have a couple of, okay, this one goes with this series, this one goes with this series, kind of like, getting them put where they need to go, and then working on like the outlines and shit like that, and working on characters. But after Aries gets home, and he doesn't usually let me do a whole lot of work unless he's going to take a nap. So I have been like hanging out with him, but reading on my phone. So
Yeah, I feel like I've been playing catch up all week from last week
well,
with everything I had going on.
exactly. And this week is not going to be any better for me. Tomorrow I'm doing all the laundry, making sure I have everything together. Then I'm packing up. Like
Yeah,
literally,
because you got to prep for.
I got to prep for Central. And then I'm leaving out of here on Friday. Well, I'm picking the car up on Thursday. Then I leave out of here on Friday. Super freaking early. Also, I'm dealing with 2 different time zones. That's what a lot of people don't realize when I say why I'm leaving out so early. I'm dealing with 2 different time zones. I live on Central. Everything I'm going to go do is on Eastern.
You're going forward in time.
I'm going
so you
forward in
actually have
time. I'm
less
not even going
time.
back. I'm going forward. I'm going to be that really weird number 2 that nobody actually liked. I mean, we like it, but we didn't. It's one of those things. It's like, all right, there it is. But yeah, I've got to go and get that done, and then so I'm going to leave out of here with enough time to get through Nashville. I'm hoping, God willing, the creek shall rise. I'll get through Nashville about 6:30 in the morning.
Giving him the medicine.
Okay. And then that way I don't have to deal with really bad morning traffic. And then I'll hit only problem with that. I'll hit Knoxville about lunchtime. And from what I've been told, now mind you, it's been a hot minute since I drove through Nashville. Or sorry, Knoxville. It's been a hot minute since I drove through Nashville, but it's been an even hotter minute since I've drove through Knoxville. And I've been told that it is just as bad as fucking Atlanta. So I'm like, shoot me now.
I see. I would say Atlanta's still worse.
Oh no, Atlanta is always
that's
going to be like. If I tell you I'd rather drive through Atlanta, you know it was bad.
yeah. But I mean, I unfortunately have to drive through Knoxville way too many times in any given year. And I would much rather drive through Knoxville than I would much rather drive through Chicago than I would Atlanta. And I have to drive through Atlanta.
And I won't drive in Chicago. I won't.
But you'd probably rather drive in Chicago if you had to pick. If you had to.
I will never go through Atlanta. Ever. Like, y'all will have to blindfold me and hog tie me and put me in the trunk if we going through Atlanta. And you better hope and pray to God that there's enough buffer between the trunk end and me. Lots of padding.
See, what's nice is they actually do have like one of those like roads that go around the city, and
Bypass.
it does make it a tad quicker.
I mean,
bypass. That's
yeah,
it.
you can hit the bypass, but if you end up on the wrong side of that bypass, you end up right there by the friggin' airport, which is why we don't like driving through Atlanta.
Look, it is no worse than Little Rock.
Little Rock's not that bad.
No. Post Hurricane Rita.
Well, no, I give you that one because I was there. I drove through there post.
Now, if anybody remembers, Rita really has nothing to do with Arkansas. Absolutely nothing. Rita went and was headed towards Beaumont, Texas. Okay, Beaumont and Galveston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the thing is that I drove down there to save an elderly mother and a special needs brother. Not mine, a friend's. And in the exodus of trying to get away from there, I was behind the wheel. And this is the era before GPS on your smartphone. You were lucky if you weren't being charged a full minute per text message in and text message out.
Mhm.
There were not just suddenly directions on your phone at this point. You printed them out from MapQuest still. Okay? I missed the turn leading up to. We were trying to get to Little Rock. I missed the turn. We took the scenic route, and my passenger, the owner of the car, and the daughter of said elderly mother and the older sister of said special needs brother, is yelling and screaming at me. Turn around. We've been on this road for an hour. We're lost. We're not fucking lost. Fine, if we're not fucking lost, where the fuck are we? We're in the car.
We're in the car, on the road, headed in the northern direction.
We're heading north. How can you tell? Because it's 1 o'clock and the sun is up there. Not over there. It's up there. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun is over there, not over there, which tells me I'm heading north. That's all I need to know. How do you know that? Do we forget that I grew up on a farm?
Izzy is a farm girl. That's how she knows.
I grew up not take a right at this road name. Take a right at Webster. No. Turn south at the S curve. You had to know. Keep going west past the S curve. Turn north at the S curve. Not this turn left or right. No.
Yeah, Izzy did that to me when I was up there. She said, go north. I'm like, which was fucking north?
I was like, I'm sorry. That way. I have a hard time with left and right. Okay? I have a hard time, like, in the moment knowing left or right. I literally sit there and go like this, right? Even though I'm right-handed, I've always been right-handed, like, left. So I pointed. Turn this way.
Put that away.
Turn that way. Go straight. Oh, that's a good one. I should have used that one, Bitzer. Directly over the center of the earth. That's a good one. That's a good smart-ass one. Okay. Are you spinning for our applause?
Yep.
Because we ain't... The less than 250 words that I wrote today are a bunch of teenage angsty, woe is me, what is the meaning of life, you want the truth, you can't handle the truth, shit that is not going to ever see the light of day.
Where it's going to go through a lot of sifting and editing and editing.
It will never see the light of day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Tisha Jones, our last.
First prompter. Woo! Oh boy. Okay, hold on. If you leave now, you will lose everything! My mother screamed as I walked away. My alarm pulled me out of my dream. I laid in bed, letting the alarm scream for a few seconds longer before getting up. It had been 6 years since the night I left home, and I did lose everything that I had. But I did not need or want any of it. I spent the last 6 years building my business and my life without my mother's control. I was sitting on the edge of my bed when there was a knock on my bedroom door. Yes, I called out. The door opened and my assistant entered the room. Ma'am, there is a woman on the phone who wishes to speak with you. Who is it? I asked. She claims to be your mother, my assistant said, looking at her clipboard. I just looked at my assistant for a long moment before I said, Tell her I am not available. Yes, ma'am, she said, and left my bedroom. It's been 6 fucking years, and you have the gall to call me? I thought as I got up and went to get ready for my day. It was filled with meetings and a few interviews to fill a couple of positions I needed to be filled. I was making notes to call the last applicant back for a second interview when my office phone rang. Without thinking, I answered it. Jones Technical Services, CEO and owner, Marie Jones speaking. Marie, my sweet girl, a familiar voice said. What do you want, mother? I said, allowing the irritation to show in my voice. Well, what a way to greet your mother, she huffed. Can't I just call my daughter? It has been 6 years since you have seen me, talked to me, or anything. What do you want? I growled into the phone. Well, I just wanted to see how my successful child is doing, she said in a syrupy sweet voice. Motherfucker!
He didn't get the mic muted that time. There we go. That's 3, Trisha. 3 mic mutes so far. In less than 5 minutes.
No, not after you threatened me as I left home and have not spared me a single word in 6 fucking years, I said, getting tired of her crap. Now, I will ask you one last time. What the hell do you want, mother? Well, she huffed, if you must know, I am in need of some financial assistance. Of course she knows I'm successful now and she wants money, I thought, waiting for her to continue. I have overextended myself and I am about to lose my home, she said. And why is this my problem? I asked. I am your mother and you should want to help me. The motherfucking audacity. Oh, the motherfucking audacity! It's okay. It's okay. I'm not reading a personal biography. It's fine. It's fine. Like you helped me when I started this company and you said I was wasting my time? I asked sarcastically. Well, how was I supposed to know that this was going to be a good business idea? She argued. All you needed to do was believe in me and say things like, I believe in you. I support you. You're wonderful. I wasn't asking for your damn money. I was asking for you to be a mother and support me like a mother should. I nearly shouted. Well, that was years ago. You are successful now and I need help, she said. No, I responded. What do you mean, no? She asked, shocked at my answer. No, I'm not going to help you, I answered. You did this to yourself, and I am not obligated to rescue you from your own mistakes. She started to say something, and I hung up the phone. I turned from my desk and looked out my floor-to-ceiling windows over the city. Dun, dun, dun!
Trisha, you may not have meant to make it as a bad thing, but yeah, it was a really good one.
Every person who has ever had to go no contact has wanted to be able to say that thing from a position of power and tell that other person, no, you don't get to come to me. You don't get to. This is my life. I made something out of it after you failed to believe in me. So fuck all the way off. And a lot of us don't get that chance to tell them to fuck all the way off. We can think it in our head. We can have shower conversations where we get all of that angst and that annoyance and the yelling and the screaming and the crying so that it just washes down the drain. I am not speaking from personal experience. Of course not. No, never. Some of us don't get that chance. And what you just did is basically to put it out there and gave through this Marie Jones the fuck yeah, tell that bitch off. You may have housed me, fed me, clothed me for 18 years, but obviously if you couldn't believe in me and you couldn't love me and you couldn't support me in my fucking dreams, you don't deserve to reap the benefits of what I built. Bravo. Bravo. Bravo.
And as
All
somebody
over
who's
my
going
face.
through that currently, I am very low, damn near no contact with
Oh,
the only remaining
trust me,
parent that I have left.
I might throw a fucking party when she finally tells them fuck all the way off.
And currently I am this damn close. I have one view with a lawyer from it, and then that's it. And that's only because I still need one thing of paperwork, and I can't get a hold of the two other siblings. Not that I want to. It's just for this I need their written. I need their signatures.
I'm a violin and y'all played me. You
Like-
played me tonight.
Well, actually, you got played like a fiddle, not necessarily a violin.
Please remember, my brother is a violinist, so I go to violin because the thriller aspects of Wilhelm and Nathan with the back and the forth. Like I was waiting the Tommy guns, the bullets flying. I may not have mic muted, but it was heart palpitating, okay? And then the whole kidnapped sister and through the game, but he gets fucking arrested. Nathan. And the footprints. The footprints. Void saving. These are virtuoso long. This is not fiddle. This is violin. And then it comes the crashing waves with the timpani and the xylophone and the fuck you, mother. The crescendo. Sorry, I may have had to go to the symphony one too many times as a child.
All right, are we ready to roll for next week's prompts?
I'm not ready. I am not ready. I am not ready for everything that you guys are putting me through. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Tell me it's fine, but I know I'm not.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
sorry.
Six all
Did I
night.
just? I'm sorry. Did I just quote Stray Kids? I might have.
Honestly, I've not seen Six all night. He might have something going on.
Okay, and this will be March 6th?
Yes.
6th through 7th. And again, we do not have a oh, pardon me.
Extra theme.
We do not have a plan for March, a theme for March or anything else. We thought about something to go along with March Madness because that's a big deal here in the United States. But lately, fuck the United States! Sorry. Was that out loud? Please don't cancel me. 7th and 8th? 7th and 8th.
So,
What?
can I put my challenge out for everyone?
See what we got.
Okay.
We'll have to.
So-
Maybe we should do a poll. Yay or nay? 7th and 8th. Yes, Trisha is correct. My bad.
In honor of my bestie's birthday
Oh God.
next month, I want everyone to try and warm her heart, make her have a good mood, put her in a good mood.
Now Cash gets a mic. That count.
I hate seeing my bestie and having a hard time, and I want her to have something making her feel good.
Yeah, the bestest birthday ever.
I love you, Izzy.
Fluffing nonsense. I wouldn't go with fluffing nonsense. You know, make it because Izzy likes the stories that really, get her thinking.
I'm going from age 9 to 10. Let's do some numerology math there. All right, let's roll for concept.
Okay. 63.
63. A character finds evidence that a forgotten moment shaped their entire future.
$61.
We're all going to start with 6? Jesus Christ. I know I'm turning 46, but Jesus Christ. She opened her handbag and tipped the contents onto the floor.
And starting first line, or I'm sorry, dialogue. 36.
666. 666.
Well, technically, the first one and the last one are Quinellas. So Quinellas when it's reversed. 63 and 36.
But there was 63. There was
Yeah.
6.
I mean,
Use this dialogue. I've heard rumors for years, whispers of something buried beneath the floorboards. Tonight, I think I might have found proof. Look at me getting my ASMR on.
all right. Well, I set up the poll. Read them out one more time.
Concept. A character finds evidence that a forgotten moment shaped their entire future. Start line. She opened her handbag and tipped the contents onto the floor. Dialogue. I've heard rumors for years, whispers of something buried beneath the floorboards. Tonight, I think I might have found proof. Ad starts in 5 minutes, which means you've got 5 minutes to vote on the poll.
There you go.
God, how do I choose? How do I fucking choose?
These are all really good ones.
And they all really go well together.
Yeah, they do. Are
Shit, Concept's in the lead.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
We haven't had a concept in the fucking lead in 2 years. And that was like before we started voting.
Yep.
That was before we started doing concept, start line, and dialogue.
There's gold beneath them floorboards.
Oh my God, are you guys going to not vote on a dialogue for the first time ever? Because I've even noticed when starting line wins, a lot of people wind up using it as dialogue or first person. Good God. I mean, if we want a prime example, a forgotten memory. Kickers 2002. Destiny.
We got 6 and 6 voted.
Oh my Lanta. I think we might be looking at the first ever time that concept ran away with it. Holy schmoly.
And it's not that the dialogue isn't good, it's just very specific.
But it might be a metaphor.
Yes.
Floorboards doesn't have to be actual floorboards because you can just pull up floorboards and see what's underneath. Or if your floorboard is also the ceiling of the floor below, like in my house, you can just go into the basement and look up. But I mean, it could just be a metaphor underneath the floorboards. Hell, if everybody frickin' weaves all three together, that'd be an interesting thing. Oh, pretty. I've had that candle jar and have been burning it. One of the funny things says not for hot products. Since 2007.
Well, now you have a drinking cup.
You were 4.
Now you got a drinking cup.
It's taken me since William was 4 years old to burn through this candle.
Apparently, my coworkers have noticed a new testosterone effect. My butt has changed shape.
I'm live on Twitch.
Okay. I no longer have the exact same butt.
No, you've got the butt of my youth before age sagged mine. Go
I told you
away!
it was a very masculine butt.
Remember who your mother is!
I remembered who my grandma is.
Sorry you all had to see that. There's a reason we refer to him as my clone.
We got.
Where's that whiskey?
We're 3 ahead on concept.
Okay, I think it's safe to turn my mic back on. Somebody came downstairs and I didn't want it making all the noise.
Gotcha. Concept 1.
Holy
5
moly!
to 2.
We've got a concept.
Yep, concept. A character finds evidence that a forgotten moment shaped their entire future.
If you guys are worried that something you're writing isn't heartwarming or something that will put her in a good mood, you can always ask me and I can help you. Like,
Yeah, unfortunately,
Will
I'm
this-
gonna have to rely on the team this week. Like, if you need me for certain things, yes, contact me. I will be within computer shot, everything like that. But also realize that I will be out of 95% out of pocket this week and into the weekend.
I want to address the comment real quick. Bitzer said that the footprints was supposed to be heartwarming. It was, but it was also bittersweet as I have had 4 miscarriages. So very much, and the way Void, I cry at sad things. I cry at happy things. I cry at horrific things. Look, I'm a crier, and I'm not a pretty crier. I am an ugly crier. I just cry. On top of that, since January 10th, I have been on this Stray Kids thing, right? And I get to one song in my playlist, and every single fucking time, instant tears. So I have been replaying that section of the playlist quite a bit lately just to try and force myself to cry. So I was already right there. It's okay. You did nothing wrong. It was very heartwarming. Very heartwarming. But I'm just right there. No, I did definitely. It was, but I remembered instantly. I remembered the previous installments of the story where Zinnia was talking about how she had lost the baby and the babies, and the fact that she was underfed and she was not provided for and she was not taken care of, and Aaron fucking worked her to death and made it so that the pregnancies didn't last. He was an evil being, and I'm very glad that he is now gone. But it was all together, but it was also I feel very connected to Zinnia, and not in any way that you have gone out of your way to try and make that happen. You have made just a character that I relate to very well. No, it was absolutely heartwarming. It is not clear evidence that you don't know how to people. You were fine.
Buddy.
You do know how to people, Bitzer. You may
do.
not feel like you can, but you do.
For the rest of us neurovariants who identify our variants and know our variants, you people very well.
You do very well.
That's one of the reasons why I love this writing group so much and this podcast, and the idea of getting bigger, the idea of doing um, author
Interviews.
interviews and book release parties like we originally talked about doing, and getting bigger. Yeah, it's a great dream. It's a great dream, and something that I was like, if it happens, it happens. I'm just here to support Julie and make her dream a reality and do whatever I can, and blah 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 blah. And was being recognized at a book convention and actually asked for at other book conventions that I'm not at. Like, was that ever on my bingo card? Absolutely not. Did I ever think that
No,
anybody
that was nowhere on our bingo cards.
No, did I ever think that people outside of my area would ever even know my name? No. No. Did I think I could count people in other countries as my friends? No, never. Nah. Zzz. The thought also terrifies me. It absolutely terrifies me. I'm an extrovert, but I live my life introvertedly based on trauma. And if somebody's close enough to touch me, they're close enough to hurt me. So, and what's worse is my love language is touch. So, I'm just here to support the team and the fact that we are close knit and we care about each other. We know what's going on in each other's lives. We can sit there like, Bitzer will put a finger up and then put an ankle emoji in the side chat, and we're like, oh, time to ice the ankle. Okay, like we have our own language. And the
Or it's bread.
idea, or it's the bread, yes. And we know exactly what they're going off and doing, right?
Yep.
The idea of bringing in a bunch of strangers to that, if they don't mesh, if they don't work, if they're not going to fit in to our family, to our group, to our support system, and the fact that, on occasion we're now starting to have to be that whole, hey, we got to have boundaries. The fact that it's now a parasocial relationship in a lot of ways, it's really fucking scary, but at the same time amazing. So I'm just on a nice little, it's not even a Ferris wheel because it is going Iron Dragon speeds, maybe Magnum speeds. So you still can't put me on the death drop. Okay. No, not ever going to fucking happen. But I'm gonna shut up now because I'm
You don't need to shut up. You're kind of expressing, I think, what a lot of us have been thinking in the back of our minds, even if we haven't expressed anything.
We are a very unique group from all walks of life, all over the fucking planet. And not even all over the country, all over the damn planet. We have somebody from Panama, the actual freaking country, not the fucking just Panama City. Okay. We have them from, we have 3 Canadians. Yes, we claim we have our 3 Canadians. We've got everywhere from the great white fucking north all the way to the fucking south. And then you take us over and you got the Midwesters. We got Patrick. We've got our Californians and we couldn't do this show whether you've been here since day friggin' 1 or you've come in the last year. We couldn't do the show without y'all. And yes,
no.
Most of us, we are a bit antisocial. We are also very much the, if you're licked, we will go down swinging. It goes back to that thing. I was watching a bunch of these before I got on tonight, but it goes back to that thing. It's like, would you kill for your kid? And I'm sitting there and I put my freaking hat on backwards. I said, my kid, your kid. If there is a kid within my fucking vicinity, it's protected. I don't care if that kid's being a little jackass. If somebody's going to lay hands on that child, the parent will do so, and we will talk about it later. But I'm getting the child out of immediate danger right this second. When it comes to my friends, I'm just as vicious. And that is the correct word
Viciously
to use.
protective.
I am vicious.
We're the epitome of there's a viral meme and reenactment and trends going around constantly where it'll be a woman going, "Oh no, I don't want kids," but right after that, some kid screams "mom," and the woman who doesn't want kids is like, "Wait, there's a kid in need." Doesn't mean we want to have our own. Okay, just I did have my own, but it's the nurturing aspect. If there's a kid in trouble, the average parent is gonna run when they're needed, even if they're not one. Look, those are my fur babies. Okay,
Right.
those are my fur babies. I'm a mom, whether they're 2-legged or 4-legged, doesn't matter. And I am that defensive and that protective of my friends and my family and my chosen family. So, you know, if you get a "you're licked, you're mine," it means anybody fucks with you, they're fucking with me.
And then everybody knows if you fuck with Izzy, Cash isn't far behind, and you better hope like hell Julie didn't find out about it.
And if you fuck with one of them, I come in too. Yes, we will pack bond with anything. Absolutely. I mean, I may have a cat that is in my name that doesn't live here.
That's pack bonding with anything. I
Just
think that's a very loose definition of it.
just so that particular baby can stay right where they're at. Legally, that baby belongs to me. I don't care. We do what we do to make sure that everyone is protected and safe, and we do that with your stories too. You know, we literally in the inbox, the stuff that you share with us, it's kept. So that way, if we come across something in the wild where it's like, oh my God, does that sound exactly like Death's Head? Does that sound like Bitzer's work? Doesn't have Bitzer's name on it. You know, wait. That storyline is almost word for word Trisha's. We will go back and we will check and we'll be like, hey, bruh,
We got a problem. Don't worry,
we
we're
got a problem.
on our end, but you might also want to send your own cease and desist.
You know, because that's I had a mom like that one in Trisha's who told me that I wouldn't amount to anything. That unless I was supporting her golden child son, I was never going to amount to anything. Still doesn't believe in me to this day.
That's her loss.
It is her loss. Because I have a fantastic fucking job.
You do.
That I love.
And if we ever have a financial question, we go to Izzy.
And then on top of that, I get to do this with you guys. I may need a break. I may need a vacation every now and again. But my life is full. I've got 2 of my 3 kids with me who love me, who constantly worry about me, care about what happens to me. They don't fucking hate me. To the point that their friends insist on calling me mom because they wish their mom was more like me. That is fucking scary. But regardless, I have a full life. So fuck that bitch. And I will do for anybody that I call family what that bitch should have done for me.
Maybe I wasn't as bad of an influence as she thought I was.
Fuck no, you weren't. Fuck that bitch. I'd say a couple of more choice words, but I don't want us to get totally canceled. We know I'm unhinged. I'm going to shut up now because I'm
She's got to hydrate.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
Look
that's
on her face.
you okay?
Gonna live?
All right, guys. That's all we got for tonight. We've done the spin. We know our assignments. I will try to have the newsletter out sometime tomorrow. Anybody
because I quit.
she quit.
I went on hiatus.
Information correct, but that's about it.
I went on newsletter hiatus. I said, please, somebody else do it for a while.
So yeah, I went in. I did it.
Oh, you might want to make sure that the first paragraph thing is a little bit more personalized to the event. Yeah.
I was just making sure it got out last week. It's like,
hey, yeah, no, I get it.
I
get it. I have built up that newsletter. If anybody has not signed up for the newsletter, like it typically starts with talking about what the weekend was like. Hey, hashtag bro Gizzy. If there was a record number of Mike Mukes, Mike Mukes? Mike Mukes. I'll mention that, etc. We put in the schedule, so we have the next 4 weeks worth of dates. We also have what the prompts all were and what the chosen one was, the monthly totals of numbers, so to compare with what last month was, compare with last year's totals, where we're at. We do not talk about TrackBear other than giving the link to join the leaderboard, because Bitzer keeps us up to date in the main chat with how many K we're at. Literally, we are 3 months ahead of schedule on our million-word challenge. It's fixing to be 4 months ahead.
And I think it's all Bitzer.
Literally, if you look at the graph on the leaderboard and you look at what the trajectory is, it's got, hey, this is how many words you need to be at for the whole course of the year. Bitzer's red wedge literally is above that trajectory, and the rest of us are all just bonus words.
Pretty much.
So,
let me hold on.
No, yeah, I've looked at it, and Bitzer's got the most, so Bitzer's is above that line, and then everybody else is above.
It goes Bitzer, Deathhead, Luna, me, Cash. Patrick's coming in 6th. Izzy is 7th.
I'm still 7th, having written nothing in weeks.
Starbucks is coming in 8th. Nifty 99, which is Dahlia, is in 9th place. Rose is in 10th. Ace is in 11th. And Documenter is coming up in 12th place. And we only have 12 people on. Yeah.
Possible. Oh, okay. Well, when I last looked at it, right, the dotted hashed line that put par, like up till a certain point, it was all Bitzer. The rest of us were all just bonus. But what I would like to point out, and Bitzer, correct me if I'm wrong, but you thought you didn't write all that much in a year. And
yes,
by tracking just the words, you realize that you wrote a lot more than you ever gave yourself credit for. It's not a competition. It's definitely like, hey, fucking look at you go. So, I mean, it's great. So, yeah, it is only 10 p.m. and normally we're still reading stories by this point. So I think we've kind of done a little bit of a socializing bit tonight.
We did.
Also, you know, Honey Jack.
Ah.
I may need to have the body emptied. The body emptied. I may need to have the bottle emptied by March 3rd for the full moon so we can fill it with water and set it out for moon water collection.
Mhm.
You got 3 days.
Well, look, the last time, it's only this much.
Yeah, I know.
I think. Yeah. The last time we did it with the blackberry, I forgot to mention to William, hey, let's not set it outside. And as I opened the door to go smoke a cigarette, right? I see it out on the table and I'm like, shit, I forgot to tell William that we weren't. And I open up the screen door and I walk out, and before my very eyes, I watch it explode. Now, I wasn't even freaking mad. I wasn't mad because I got to watch it with my own eyes explode. It was so fucking awesome. Literally, I'm a fucking dude. I am a fucking dude in the fact that I like to watch things fucking explode and catch fire.
There's William helping with get that down.
Well, yeah, it's his Honey Jack.
My Honey Jack.
Hi, nephew.
Oh, I think there's one more.
I said there's one more.
You good?
Okay, I can't take the last shot. It's your bottle.
Cheers, everybody.
Family that drinks together stays together. Especially when they love each other. Okay, go away.
My coworkers kept making Dad ran away jokes, and I'm like, Dad left for the milk.
No, the story he was told is that Mom left for smokes and never came back.
Hey, at least it wasn't like one person left for scratch offs and he's like, he must have won because never saw him again.
Whew. All right, so 10:07 Eastern time. We've chosen the prompt. Oh my God, you guys chose concept. But again, feel free to adjust any of the lyric. Can't tell what I got on my brain. Dialogue or starting first line, work them in. Again, starting first line does not necessarily always mean starting first line. It's just start with that as your concept. If you have to go back up, put in as many as you want. Kesh has challenged you that for my birthday in March, which is not until the end of the month, but no, okay, I just remembered. My birthday is not on a Saturday. It's on a Friday. Woo-hoo! Okay.
That said, it's
sure?
under configure leaderboard.
There you go. But I can't go drinking because I got to work the next morning, the 28th. But anyway, heartwarming story. Instead of pissing me off, which I know y'all don't know what's actually going to trigger me. And just because I mute the mic and just because I yell and I scream and, I try not to get us canceled doesn't mean that I don't love it, because I absolutely do.
She does do happy mic mutes.
I do happy mic mutes and cry mic mutes, and basically if what is going to come out of my mouth might include some words that might get us canceled, or I don't want y'all to hear me ugly cry, or I don't want to blow out your eardrums, I will mute. And that's the whole reason why we don't clue Izzy into what we're writing for the week. But if you're working on something other than the prompt, we are a full service writing group community. Give each other feedback. You don't just need help from us. We're not experts by any means. Yes, does Shar have 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, Shar has 6 books published. Patrick has 4. Trisha has like 5 or 6. Julie's got 2. Do we have publishing experience, self-publishing experience? Yes. Do we have story experience? Yes. But so do all y'all, right? All y'all have storytelling experience, and that's the important thing, is to figure out how to tell the story. The next step is making sure that the writing is saying what you want it to say, right? The whole exercise of February, which I wanted to give you guys resources for that, but mental vacation so that I didn't spend time in a padded room, was literally that.
Cookies and cream moonshine. Holy shit.
Why am I being handed cookies and cream moonshine?
You need to try it.
Aunt Julie's eyebrows just went up under her hat.
I think her hat just kind of went from her eyebrows.
Please remember, I don't like Kahlua.
I'm aware. Just the fact that it's moonshine, but you can't taste any alcohol.
Oh, God.
Okay, so Death
That is dangerous.
It's so dangerous. It just tastes like a melted milkshake.
Is it visible? You go to this option right here.
Midnight
Configure leaderboard.
Right.
And under there, one of the options will be to change your color. But I can 100% take screenshots if you still.
Oh.
Or if when we get into Discord, I can share my screen.
Oh Lord, we've broken the Izzy.
Okay, awesome. Okay, she's laughing. For a second, I thought she was crying. Hey, Izzy, take us out.
Julie, sign us off.
Okay. With that being said, you guys have your writing assignments. If you happen to be in the Roanoke area, come by, see me and Patrick. Otherwise, bail money, I'm using the money to go to Roanoke. Otherwise, be brave, be bold, but always stay humble. We'll see you next week. Save that time.
You gotta do it again. You gotta do it again. I hit the button too quick.
Okay. Too late. We're gone.
That's hilarious.
We're gone.
Are we on or are we off? Somebody please tell me.
I'm waiting because... Yeah, they get cut off. Okay, really quick, people. Don't add to the population, don't subtract to the population. If you get your ass arrested, don't call me. I won't have bail money. I'm going to Rona.
17%.
Otherwise, be brave, be bold, but always stay humble. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye!
Where's the button? Oh, cross-eyed.
There
Wait.
Because that's how I was last